Tonight, I want to welcome you to Guiding Principles Bible Study, but I want you to know something. We are going to start off today making you very upset. And I just want you to know that as I get ready to read you John 6, chapter 6, verses 59 through 65. You ready? These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, "This is an hard saying. Who can hear it?" When Jesus knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, Does this offend you? What, and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up to where he was before? It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. And he said, Therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me, except it were given unto him of my Father. Do we really need to have any more Bible study tonight? Plain and simple. I'm going to make this real easy for you. If Jesus didn't call you, you don't belong to God. Here's the thing I want you to get. You see all these people out here talking about Christianity. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Let me tell you what Christians don't do. We don't sit back and we don't waste our time criticizing other people for their decision. If a woman chooses to have an abortion, we aren't going to fight that. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, guess who's not paying that price? I'm not paying the price for her having that. The question I now have to ask myself is very simply this. Do I want to help her pay for the child that she's bringing into the world? And if the answer is no, then guess what I do? I shut up. Let me explain to you why I shut up. Because the Bible tells me that if I'm not willing to help, then who am I? Because I stand on the wrong side of Jesus if I'm not willing to help someone who gets themselves into a situation. I can't sit back and create a barrier for you and then not do something to help cross that barrier. As a Christian, we understand that we live in glass houses and we don't have to cast the first stone. And we get to make that judgment very simply because all we have to do is look at the fruit of these people who claim to be Christian. You see, being about Christ is about understanding truth. Being about Christ is not about living a lie. What is causing people to divide from Jesus is this thing called religion. And I know y'all, every week I am on this religion kick, but I want you to understand that if you are all about the religion of Jesus, then you are missing the point of Jesus. Jesus is about freedom. He's about you understanding how he structured this world so that you can naturally be successful, that you can continue to sustain your life here on this planet. Your only concern is you and your family. And if someone comes to you needing help, then you come. He told you in today's verse, plain and simple, listen. Is what I'm saying offending you? Too bad. It is what it is. But I'm here to tell you, you ain't coming to me unless my Father brings you. You see, there are a lot of people out there who like to sit back and talk about how they are part of the believers. But let me explain something to you. If you're part of the believers, you got called. And if you're more concerned about what committees you serve on, then you don't serve the Father. You serve you. And that's what Jesus says later on in that chapter. He says, plain and simple, here's the deal. If you are a man who is after a man, you seek to glorify yourself. Jesus didn't come here to glorify Jesus. Jesus came here to glorify his Father. And that's what he did. You see, here's where we get into a problem is when we sit back and we say, hey, Jesus came here for this purpose. He fulfilled that purpose. And now we get to live free. And then we live in bondage. Are you kidding me right now? All of us are guilty of something. All of us. Do you remember when Jesus kneeled down to the sand where they were getting ready to stone that woman for adultery, and the man was nowhere to be found? And he said not one word, and he began to write in that sand. You see, no one knows what he wrote, but what was the result of what he wrote? Everybody started dropping their rocks all of a sudden. So if Jesus is standing before you and he starts writing in that sand, you're still going to be casting that rock? While we look at things that are happening in the world, we have to measure them against the Bible. If I don't like the way somebody is living their life, am I willing to pay to change it? Am I able to pay to change it? Because sometimes, let's be honest, we're willing, but we aren't able. If I'm not able and I'm not willing, then I have nothing to talk about. Jesus came for you to live in freedom. But if his Father isn't calling you, if he hasn't called you, if you don't find living for him to be the highlight of your day, then ask yourself, was I really called? If your life is smooth and calm and everything is perfect, ask yourself, was I really called? That's the problem. Because if you're really called and everything is perfect, then I'm not thinking you serve the Jesus you think you serve. You're supposed to have stability, but you also have problems. Problems are a part of life. And where can your faith be shown and demonstrated except in how you deal with problems? If every time problems come up to the surface, you ready to fight somebody and you taking off earrings and you want to cuss somebody out, please, who you fooling right now? There ain't nothing Jesus about that. That's all you, baby. All you. And what? You gonna sit up on Sunday and be like, oh, I serve the Lord. Really? Stop it. Because how you behave demonstrates to other people who Jesus is. But what you're painting isn't a picture of Jesus. You're painting a picture of your own lunacy. Back off, calm down, and get to a place where you understand that troubles are going to happen. And you go, woo-wee, we going to ride this pony, and then start riding the pony. Like, it's not that complicated. All right, here's a problem. I don't like it. I got to deal with it. I might even want to cry about it for 5 minutes. And then it's done. Go fix it. If you're not going to fix it, then shut up about it. What are you doing? And sitting back and casting stones from a glass house is not brilliant. Don't do that. So what are you doing? You're going to sit back and you're going to talk about this person and that person. You know, there's a lot of that going on right now. So I'm going to share this with you. Understand this. We are never going to be a political platform. But we got to look at this election that's going on right now. Each one of you, in the sound of my voice, needs to take a moment to download Project 2025, all 920 pages of it, and read what it is that they are suggesting be done to this country. Do you know why it's 920 pages? Because they know you won't read it. They know that you will go onto YouTube and you will find people that you like who will tell you what you want to hear. And then you won't go as far as to look at what the other side is saying about it. First off, that's a terrible characteristic of someone who claims to be a Christian, because the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. You see, the word brings freedom. Is your example of living bringing freedom to others? Why is it that I get to listen to these things on YouTube and all these people talk about how they have watched Christians? Like, you don't have a good reputation and you call yourself the C word? Seriously? I would prefer you be a believer in Jesus, a Jesus person, a Jesus man, a Jesus woman, and walk that walk. And when they come to you and say, don't be shoving your religion down my throat, understand that they're not talking to you. They're talking to all them crazy people who keep trying to bash them over the head. And I can't tell you how many people, especially around here, I drive around and they have these F Biden signs on their buildings. Do you want to know how disrespectful that is? So you call yourself a Christian and you got an F Biden sign on your house? Seriously? Number one, the man has gray hair. The Bible tells you to respect the elders. The man is an 80-year-old man. The fact that he lived to be 80, you are lucky if you get to live to be that same age. That you would disrespect not only a leader who was chosen by the people, but someone who is an old man, that's disgusting to the Father. Even at 80, he's barely even a breath out of God's mouth. If God won't disrespect him, who are you? That's not how we behave. So quit calling yourself that C word unless you're willing to walk it. Unless every part of your life begins to line up. Listen, you're going to go through hard times. There are going to be seasons in your life where things are a mess. And then there are going to be seasons in your life where things are fabulous. Nothing stays bad forever. Nothing stays good forever. As long as you understand that, when things go bad, if there are things you need to take care of, when things are going good, go back, take care of the mess from the bad, and then keep moving forward. That's how you deal with it. People are going to talk about you. They're going to say what they say. They're going to do what they do. Let them be that. But if you truly want to serve the Father, if you truly want to live your life in a way that acknowledges that Jesus came, died for you, and left you a world filled with success and opportunity and possibilities, then start walking in that. Live in that. Breathe it. Like, let it permeate every angle and avenue and part of your life. Everyone. Because if you're not willing to do that, then you can't be willing to walk this walk. You can't be willing to sit up there and call yourself that C word. Because now you ain't nothing but a religion. And your religion ain't a life-saving religion. It's a death-bringing religion. Unless you walk the walk, we're talking the talk. So, on that happy note, I'll see you next Friday. Hey, it's Toina with Destiny Education. If you liked that video, take a moment to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that every single time we release a new video, you'll know all about it.